tuned into the right place. Welcome to the rain. Golden Queuing. H2.0. Yeah. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear.
Welcome to the Queendom, it's 2.0 on your screen, where the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and rearrange. If you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must.
This ain't just another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators, building up a better scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message and the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought.
Ooh, so come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me envy. Unleash the dragon.
Subscribe, ring that notification bell. Yeah, you don't wanna miss a thing. Welcome to the family. Yeah.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let it ring out loud. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea, like the mighty water. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. We remember it all. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Hope is alive, yeah. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on. Let's keep marching till victory is won. Stony the road we trod. Bitter the casting ain't right, but we're still here. Steady beat.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden. I'm back. Got another video for y'all today. Child, y'all know per usual, we gotta get into some of these political updates. There is a lot going on. You know, we have things happening within the ICE situation, but we also have things happening within the White House as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to y'all about that in just a bit. It is 4:24 p.m. here, Eastern Time in the Carolinas in the United States. The weather is pretty dreary. There's no sun outside today, and I'm not really having the best day, just to be honest. One of my dogs had to be taken and put down today, so maybe not in the best of moods, but the day goes on and life goes on. When I listen to that Lift Every Voice song, though, honestly, the remake of it that I made, it brings me hope and it brings me strength. It peps me up, honestly. Like, I was trying to figure out, how am I going to get through this live today? Am I going to be able to get through this live today? I needed a boost and I needed some energy. And that song actually does that for me. And it is a remake and a rendition of the original song. But this is life, y'all. You know, we go things in life, sometimes good, sometimes bad. And me sitting here being sad and, crying over a dog is very different from someone sitting in their home crying over the loss of a mother, a father, a child, or a family member. And so I always try to remind myself of those things when I'm feeling down and out about situations that I may be in and going through. It may be somebody that's going through something worse than you. But we'll go ahead and get into this live, y'all. So we're going to be talking again about Minnesota. Minnesota is under heavy attack right now. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, they are. And they're basically at the breaking point. So today, on January 24, 2026, Governor Tim Walz officially labeled the federal presence in Minneapolis a federal occupation. And this was following the shooting of Alex Jeffrey Pretti, who was only 37 years old, a nurse and a U.S. citizen. Pretti, a legal permit to carry holder with no criminal record, was pow-powed 10 times by federal agents during Operation Metro Surge. We'll get into that. Y'all will hear some of those talking points. We're also breaking down the arrest of civil rights leader Nekima Levy Armstrong, who claims she was under federal surveillance. Shockingly, the White House is being accused of using AI-altered deepfake photos of her arrest to create propaganda. Meanwhile, we got Vice President JD Vance facing massive Signalgate backlash after leaked messages revealed sensitive military planning on non-secure applications. Is this federal aggression a distraction from the White House crisis? We can't be sure. A lot of people often, such as myself, do see sometimes and feel that, JD Vance gets put out there as, VP to do, PR and to also, take shots and hits and stuff like that to distract people away from what Trump is doing. So basically, the fall guy. A lot of people feel that way. But anyway, let's get into some details. So 37-year-old nurse Alex Jeffrey Pretti was unalived at 26 in Nicollet. The DHS claims he violently resisted, but bystander video from Glam Doll Donuts shows agents wrestling him to the ground before a barrage of shots. And we're talking about 10 shots here, y'all. 10 pow-pow shots from a weapon. Chief Brian O'Hara confirms Pretti was a lawful gun owner with no violent history. Governor Walz has demanded that the White House pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers out of Minnesota immediately. He has declared that the state, not the feds, will lead the investigation into this unaliving. Then we have Nekima Levy Armstrong scandal. Arrested at a St. Paul hotel, Armstrong claims she was targeted by ICE surveillance. The White House is under fire for posting an altered photo that made her look like she was sobbing. Analysis shows that the original DHS photo had her looking composed. The White House dismissed the manipulation as a meme. Wow. So our government is also participating in social media and posting memes as well. This is the world we live in. We'll also get into JD Vance, Signalgate. These events coincide with the Signalgate scandal, where leaked text show JD Vance and other officials used signals to plan Yemen strikes, or Yemen, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Yemen strikes. Critics argue the metro surge. Violence is a tactic to project strength amidst these massive security leaks. So we're going to get into, we got about 3 to 4 videos I'm going to show y'all or let y'all listen to today. That's going to break down some of this information a little bit better than I can. And so if y'all want to bear with me, child, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first video we'll be playing today that I want y'all to listen to is Minneapolis officials hold a news conference after the fatal powwowing from a federal agent. Of course, this is tying into what I just told y'all about the poor individual that lost their life by the name of Alex Jeffrey Pretti, 37 years old. This is just now weeks from the unaliving of Renee Good. So Minnesota is really getting it hard. And, you know, this is all at the hands of ICE officers. And these are individuals that are being targeted, being attacked, and being unalived. And they're not even, and let me say this respectfully, right? Because I don't want nobody to take it the wrong way. I don't think immigrants should be treated this way. But what I'm saying is they have not broken any laws, done anything wrong. They are citizens now of this country, living their lives, trying to go to work, and they're being targeted for whatever reason these ICE officers see fit, whether it's the color of their skin, what race, or what is it I'm looking for, y'all? What race or internet? That's not the right word. What race they look like? Okay, they're being targeted, or even if they may not fit the profile based off of race, if they're fighting for and speaking up for and standing for what's right and standing by their fellow neighbors, brothers and sisters, friends, and so on and so forth, they're being targeted and attacked and unalived as well. And so this is what is happening in our government right now, almost on a daily basis, it seems like. And I think these are important things that we need to talk about and bring to the forefront. So anyway, y'all know how I get. I get very emotional and talkative. I won't do that. I try to not do that. I really do. So let me just go ahead and put on the actual conference for you. And you can hear, this is Mayor Frey from Minneapolis. I love him. I think he's excellent. I really, really do. I love his gumption. Like, I love he has like fight. He doesn't care. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to say it like it is, and he means it. And you can look at him, honestly, and he's a good looking dude. Don't get me wrong. But you can look at him and tell, like, he ain't about that. He ain't playing no games. He's going to call it like it is. And John won't say the rest of the things that I would say. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this video. And I don't want to make jokes, but sometimes you got to make a little bit lightness out of darkness. And today's been a dark day for me. And I know it's been a dark day for people all across the world, especially in Minnesota and Minneapolis. So let me go ahead and just play this conference video for y'all real quick so we can listen together. But this is what has just happened recently.
I'm going to turn it over to the chief to provide an update and some of the details based on the limited amount of information that we have thus far this morning, and then I will provide some comments myself. Chief.
They don't have you. They don't have you. I called the wrong thing up. That's on there.
At approximately 9:03 a.m. this morning, Minneapolis police received the report of a shooting involving federal law enforcement in the area of East 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue on the south side of the city. Officers arrived and found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds when they arrived. Life-saving aid was being rendered, and he was transported by ambulance to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he was later pronounced deceased. Based on the information that we have, which is very limited, this is a 37-year-old white male who is a Minneapolis resident, and we believe he is an American citizen. We have not been told any official reports of what has led up to the shooting, but we have seen the video that is circulating on social media. Our demand today is for those federal agencies that are operating in our city to do so with the same discipline, humanity, and integrity that effective law enforcement in this country demands. We urge everyone to remain peaceful. We recognize that there is a lot of anger and a lot of questions around what has happened, but we need people to remain peaceful. In the area, we have an unlawful assembly at this time. Minneapolis police have given multiple warnings for the crowd to disperse. We are asking for people to avoid the area and to leave if you are there. We have requested mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and from all our local and county regional partners. We ask everyone to remain calm and to please do not destroy our own city.
I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values? How many times must local and national leaders must plead with you, Donald Trump, to end this operation and recognize that this is not creating safety in our city? As you'll hear from Director Sayer in just a second, we have seen these kinds of operations in other places, in other countries, but not here in America. Not in a way where a great American city is being invaded by its own federal government. I'm done being told that our community members are responsible for the vitriol in our streets. I'm done being told that our local elected officials are solely responsible for turning down the temperature. Just yesterday, we saw 15,000 people peacefully protesting in the streets, speaking out, standing up for their neighbors. Not a single broken window, not a single injury. Those peaceful protests embody the very principles that both Minneapolis and America was founded upon. Conversely, the mass militarized force and unidentified agents who are occupying our streets, that is what weakens our country. That is what erodes trust in both law enforcement and in democracy itself. So to everyone listening, stand with Minneapolis. Stand up for America. Recognize that your children will ask you what side you were on. Your grandchildren will ask you what you did to act to prevent this from happening again, to make sure that the foundational elements of our democracy were rock solid. What did you do to protect your city? What did you do to protect your nation? This is not what America is about. This is not a partisan issue. This is an American issue. This administration and everyone involved in this operation should be reflecting. They should be reflecting right now and asking themselves, what exactly are you accomplishing? If the goal was to achieve peace and safety, this is doing exactly the opposite. If the goal was to achieve calm and prosperity, this is doing exactly the opposite. Are you standing up for American families right now? Or are we tearing them apart? The invasion of these heavily armed masked agents roaming around on our streets of Minneapolis, emboldened with a sense of impunity, it has to end. This is not how it has to be. So, to President Trump, this is a moment to act like a leader. Put Minneapolis, put America first in this moment. Let's achieve peace. Let's end this operation, and I'm telling you, our city will come back. Safety will be restored. We're asking for you to take action now to remove these.
All right, we're going to finish that speech from Mayor Frey. But I couldn't agree anymore. Take action now. And we're asking the questions. When you talking about putting America first and American citizens first, how? Well, we know how. We've played it over and over again on this channel and other channels that I have. But I played the footage for y'all. We've watched it together. Putting America first means putting the dollars first, which is also boiling down to how the entire country and the entire world seems to operate these days. Putting the dollars first. The money comes first before the integrity. The money comes first and is most important before the care and the love of the people. It's about the money, okay? And it starts from the higher branch, which we can say governmental leadership, administration, so on and so forth, and it trickles down. And we're seeing it on so many different levels and other places and spaces where we may dwell and spend time at. The money is what drives people to do the things they do, be the way they are, act the way they act, talk the way they talk. It's the money. So when Mayor Frey is here saying, can you please actually stand by your word and actually put some dignity into what it is you're pushing out here? Because he's the pusher man. Trump is the pusher man. He's just pushing, okay? You might as well call him damn bruh man from the fourth floor, okay? You're pushing something, and we know it. You don't care about the people. You don't care about the safety of the people. You don't care about the lives of the people. You care about the money, bro. You a pusher man. The pusher man. Y'all ain't never hear that song, The Pusher Man? Y'all don't know who bruh man from the fourth floor is? Hustle Man from Martin. Y'all ain't never heard of none of that? Yeah, that's what Trump is. He's Hustle Man. Rolling around with a damn shopping cart. With anything you need in it, he got it for you. He can provide it for you for a cheap discount. We are now a country that is being led by a hustle man. You understand what I'm saying? And Mayor Frey's like, yo, put all of that to the side and start thinking about the people, the lives of people. These people are being unalived and gunned down in the streets. These are people that have children. You know what I hate? You know what I hate? I'm going to tell y'all what I hate so much. I hate that people chase people chase stories and topics that does not affect their lives at all. Doesn't affect your life. What these people are doing over here, whether it's celebrity gossip, black tea sector, this is supposed to be the place and the space where everybody resides at and spends most of their time at. Okay, that's cool, that's fine, it's entertaining, it's fun, have your little, get your rocks off, whatever. But it's not until ICE comes knocking at your door and snatching people off of your street that I guess you actually gonna wake up and smell the coffee and understand how serious our country is in turmoil right now. And again, and I say this on every live because I mean it from my heart. I am not the woe is me United States citizen. It's like, oh God, look what is happening to us. I can't believe it. This is terrible. This shouldn't happen to us. This has been happening to people in countries for years. Years. And I don't think it's right when it happens to anybody. That's my stance when it comes to all of this. But you know, like when I look on this platform, it's like people just go along with the regular scheduled program as usual. And they act like they don't hear these things. They don't see these things. I know these things pop up on people's timeline. I know they know. I know they see. This is what's happening in our world. This is what's happening in our country. Y'all don't care. Y'all rather fight each other over AI songs. You rather fight each other. Like, I didn't hold my tongue too much and I can't hold it no more. I'm just like really done with the low vibration of us in this world. I'm sick of it. I really am. But when I get loud and when I get aggressive and I start speaking passionately, people say that I am mean and I'm nasty and I'm hateful and I'm this and I'm that. Like, they will talk about you because you're speaking truth. That's crazy work. Anyway, let Mayor Frey continue to say what he has to say, and I'll be quiet because the people want me to be quiet. That's what it is. I can't never speak. I can't never say nothing. I can't be my real self. I can't tell it like it is. I can't say it like it needs to be said. Child, they tell me to be quiet, sit down, shut up, fold my hands, fold my legs, and not be some type of degenerate of some kind is what they think of me. But am I not telling y'all the truth? Have I not been telling y'all the truth? I've been telling the truth for a long period of time. It's just, hey, it's too many people that don't want the truth. It's too many people that don't want better. It's too many people that like and enjoy to operate in the mess, in the darkness, and they're not paying attention to what's really going on in this world, in this country. That's going to affect them in more ways than they know. But because they're too busy paying attention to the motherfucking bullshit, they're not paying attention to how their lives is going to be affected by our governmental structure. Yes, I'm talking to you people who live in the United States, who have all of the time of the day to sit up on the damn internet talking about bullshit. You're embarrassing. You're just as bad as the damn leadership. I'm sorry. I have to say what I say, and I have to say it the way I say it and when I feel it. It's embarrassing. You're fighting over petty shit, but we about to lose our rights. Y'all don't understand what the hell is going on. Do you pay attention to it? Do you watch it? Do you listen to it at all? Do you follow it at all? No. Because as long as you're getting a YouTube check, you're just fine, right? And the ones that want to tell the truth about it, you keep them from getting YouTube checks. Got it. Anyway, let's keep going. Mayor Frey. Here we go.
These federal agents. Director Sayers.
My name is Rachel Sayer, and I am the Director of the Emergency Management Department for the City of Minneapolis. I took this job to keep us safe because I live here, and this is my community. We are doing everything we can to mitigate the impacts of this terrible situation. The city's Emergency Operations Center continues to be activated, as it has throughout the surge in federal agents over the last few weeks. We are tracking impacts and coordinating the city's response to this situation, which is having profound repercussions in our community. I can't underscore enough how much Operation Metro Surge is impacting our city. Families with loved ones detained and those who are afraid to be in public lest they become targets need help accessing the most basic necessities like food, housing, and rides to school. Businesses are shuttering and our local economy is severely impacted, which means families are suffering, just as we were rounding a corner in our recovery. Many of our Minneapolis residents, my neighbors, my friends, my community members, are ceasing participation in public life, afraid to even go to the doctor. In response, the city enterprise continues to utilize our entire emergency apparatus. That means staff across departments, often around the clock, are putting their regular jobs on hold in order to respond to the impacts of Metro Surge. I want everyone to know there are numerous resources available to community members right now. We have mental health help available. We have food assistance, housing and rental assistance, legal help. We are sharing information about what to do if you are exposed to tear gas, pepper spray, or other chemical agents. And the state AGs and ACLU are collecting reports of rights violations. You can access these resources on the city's virtual resource center at minneapolismn.gov/ICE. Please share this information with your neighbors. We have help and we want you to be able to access that. My background is in international humanitarian response in conflict zones in Yemen, Haiti, Syria, Iraq, and Ukraine. What I've seen here is what I've seen there. A powerful entity violently and intentionally terrorizing people, making them afraid to go outside so they can't earn a living, so that kids are forced out of school. This has a lasting generational impact. People can't plan a single day of their lives because they don't know who is around the corner and if their family member or neighbor is about to be taken away. In these times, you see both the best and the worst. The worst is the terror and the feeling of helplessness. The best will continue to be our community's response. The way we are showing up for each other, that is in the absolute worst of times. We're showing up for each other in the absolute worst of times. I'll turn it back to the mayor. Thank you.
We'll open it to questions.
We are seeing an incredible volatile situation unfolding right now around that scene. Is there any communication right now between local and federal law enforcement or cooperation, or where do those efforts stand to try to calm what's going on down there right now?
I'll turn it to the chief to answer.
So the question was, there is an incredibly volatile scene in South Minneapolis right now, and the extent of communication with law enforcement agencies. We have established a command post that is led by Minneapolis Police, and there are representatives from all of the regional, local, county, and state organizations. We have had communication with Homeland Security, but they have not been able to provide us any specific details around the incident itself. We are responsible for ensuring the safety of people on the streets of our city, and we are doing everything that we can to maintain the peace right now, led by Minneapolis Police, but with the help of the Minnesota State Patrol, Hennepin and Ramsey County Sheriffs. Several suburban towns are in the city helping us with 911 calls. We have done an emergency recall of all sworn personnel back to duty. And we are working with the fire department right now to ensure that 2 small fires that were started in the area are safely extinguished. But again, we need everyone to avoid the area if possible. And the people who are in the area, we understand your frustrations. This is not sustainable.
Just
But we need people to leave the area at this time.
Is the National Guard involved?
We have communicated with the National Guard. They have been on standby for several days, and we have ensured the National Guard, as well as all of the local law enforcement partners, are aware of the situation.
Chief and Mayor, if I can ask you, this is a statement from Tricia McLaughlin, spokesperson from DHS. She said in her statement, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. Seen here, they showed a picture of it. The officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle were forthcoming. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on the scene immediately delivered medical aid. Is that what happened?
So Minneapolis police, the question was, you read a statement from DHS saying that a weapon was presented and there was attempts to disarm the person. Again, like I stated earlier, Minneapolis police, as well as our supervisors, our watch commander, responded to the scene. We were not provided any public safety statement around the incident, what happened. We have since seen a video that is circulating online, like thousands of other people have at this time. So we do not know what happened prior to the recording that is online right now. I immediately called for the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension to respond, to conduct an investigation. They are on the scene. I believe the FBI is on the scene as well. But I think the video speaks for itself. What I can tell you is we have identified this person, 37-year-old white male, resident of the city. The only interaction that we are aware of with law enforcement has been for traffic tickets. And we believe he is a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry.
Chief, can you clarify, was MPD cut out of this investigation? Has the BCA been cut out, as we've seen from the two previous shootings?
The question was, has MPD been cut out of the investigation, and has the BCA been cut out? As I stated, I immediately requested the BCA to respond. It's my understanding that they are on the scene. I have not heard anything otherwise. There was initially some information was relayed to me over the radio that our officers were told that they were either not needed or could leave. And I gave a direct order to ensure that Minneapolis police maintain the scene, as well as other state and local law enforcement.
Can you talk about the discrepancy?
Do you know whether it was multiple officers involved in the shooting or one officer? And do you know their whereabouts?
So the question was is there multiple officers involved in the shooting? That is the preliminary information. That is our understanding, that it was more than one law enforcement officer involved in the discharge. And again, there is public video that shows several law enforcement officers in a scuffle with someone.
Can you talk about the discrepancy? The initial reports said that the victim here was 51 years old. The information that you have, where is that from?
So the question was, the initial reports said the victim was 51. The information that I have is we sent Minneapolis police officers to the hospital with the individual who was shot, and they have since identified that person.
Two more questions.
Do you have the name of the individual who was shot?
I do, and I'm not releasing it.
Are you able to talk? Have you been able to talk with top ICE and Border Patrol officials to ask them to please be in on this, or have you talked to them, or have you been rejected?
The question was, have we talked with federal law enforcement to be in on this? We have had conversations with Homeland Security Investigations this morning. We are told they do not have any information to share at this time, but we will attempt to maintain those communications going forward.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that they have no information to share at this time?
The question was, do I believe that they have no information to share at this time? I don't know if the individual that we were in contact with would or not. This is a Saturday morning. And just like it was for us, it was a scramble to do an emergency recall and to get people to the scene.
All right, thank you guys. We will have more information if we get any later throughout the day.
There's a news conference with Walz at 1:30 now.
It was? Is it at the Capitol?
I don't know. I don't even know yet.
Thank you all for being here. I'll have a short statement, then I'll turn it over to Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson to update the situation, joined here by Hennepin County Sheriff Witt, State Patrol Colonel, and General Menke, the Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard. Well, as I said last week, this federal occupation of Minnesota long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement. It's a campaign of organized brutality against the people of our state. And today that campaign claimed another life. I've seen the videos from several angles, and it's sickening. But I have a strong statement here for our federal government. Minnesota's justice system will have the last word on this. It must have the last word. As I told the White House in no uncertain terms this morning, the federal government cannot be trusted to lead this investigation. The state will handle it, period. Let me say something else, and this is critically important. All of us understand what happened this morning and the tragedy of it, and my deepest sympathies to the family of a 37-year-old Minnesota resident, a lawful firearm concealed permit carrier, something that I've been lectured to by Republicans for decades. That is not only right, it's your duty. We know that the potential to further inflame tensions is high, and to Minnesotans, there's a difference. We want calm and peace and normalcy back to our lives. They want chaos. We cannot and we will not give them what they want by meeting violence with violence. Minnesota and our local law enforcement, as you have seen, have done everything possible to de-escalate. Local media has reported extensively on the cooperation to de-escalate this situation. Donald Trump, I call on you once again, remove this force from Minnesota. They are sowing chaos and violence. We've seen deadly violence from federal agents again and again and again. But in contrast to that, on these frozen streets, what you witnessed yesterday was the best of Minnesotans, peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights. And I attended in the church basement hundreds of Minnesotans from all faith packing care packages for families that have been ripped apart. Despite the horrific acts by this federal government, Minnesotans are standing up for the rule of law. They're protesting loudly and urgently, but peacefully. It must stay that way, Minnesota. Minnesotans are witnessing, and we're creating a log of evidence for the future prosecution of ICE agents and officials responsible for this. They're helping their neighbors, they're walking their kids to school, they're feeding families. I salute their courage and their restraint, and I call on all Americans to see the decency that this state is exhibiting and the horrific cruelty, unprofessional, absolute abomination that is passing for what these ICE agents are doing on our streets. They think they can provoke us into abandoning our values. Well, they're dead wrong. We'll keep the peace, we'll secure the justice with our neighbors, and we'll...
You know what? And that speech stood out to me. They think that they can provoke us from turning away from our values. This is something that could not be further from the truth when it comes to demonic energy, negative energy, dark energy, whatever you want to call it. This is what individuals do that reside with that type of energy. They want to provoke people that are good people, good-hearted people, light people, nice people, kind people. They want to provoke them to come up out of character and start, performing in a different way. Now, I am not going to say, because I am a person that believes that you need to be able to defend yourself when you need to defend yourself. Okay, period. But at the core, I do think that a lot of times this is the goal that these individuals have. They want to bring you up out of yourself. They want to make you start cussing and fussing and screaming and fighting and warring and all of these things. And it is a purpose for them wanting to do that. They want to see how low you will go. They want to see how far you will go. They want to see how dark you will go. And they'll do things to push and push and push and push to see what your response is going to be. Right? Now, this is where a lot of people have problems, especially such as myself. Because despite the fact that I try to be a good person, I try to be nice and stuff like that, do good things, be good by people, don't mess with nobody. In life, we talk about just in life. There are people that push you for these purposes, I believe specifically, to see if they can get you over to the dark side, or see how dark you can get, if they can get you to do dark things, if they can get you to vibrate as low as they vibrate. Like, I believe all of that stuff is true. But sometimes you stand up for your honor, you stand up for your integrity, and you fight back against the darkness. And you don't allow it to penetrate you and take you over. You're not always successful when it comes to that. But for the majority of the time, you're not going to give yourself fully over to the dark entities. And so when we talk about these things, like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is boring, we talk about this. Child, whatever you into, these conversations wrap around it. If you into the dark arts, this conversation falls into the dark arts. If you're into spirituality, this conversation falls into spirituality. If you like politics, this conversation falls into. It's all included. It's all in there together. Pay attention to it. And if you know each and every one, then you'll be able to see that and notice that. Like, it all falls in together. But you have to be educated enough. You have to be smart enough to see how it all ties in together. If you're not smart enough to see that, then you're just going to think, oh, it's just another political report. Yeah, sure. You can think of it as that. But all of these people that's practicing the dark arts, and people who are, spiritually inclined, people who are activists, and they want to do something to make change and bring change in this world, in the cities and the countries that they live in, it all ties in together. It's all the same. It's one conversation, but it all can be directed in a different direction, if that makes sense. It just depends how you see it and what lens you're looking through. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's just keep going here so we can get into the next few videos. We won't play all of this because this is a very long speech. We'll have to get into the other videos and get up out of here. But I'm going to play a little bit more of this because I really do think this was a great speech.
See this occupation ends. Minnesotans and Minnesota law enforcement that continuously is being denigrated by this administration will continue to be the adults in the room, the professionals in the room, the decent human beings in the room that will keep the peace. With this, I'd like to turn it over to Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson to update you on the situation as we know it.
Thank you, Governor. I'm Bob Jacobson, Commissioner of Public Safety for the Department of Public Safety, and again, it's my honor to serve in that position. A man was shot and killed this morning in Minneapolis. I want to pause and remember what cannot get lost in this moment. A man died. His family and friends are feeling unimaginable heartbreak and trauma. And I know Minnesotans and I know our community will rally around this man's family and friends to support him. I also understand clearly that people are upset. They're scared, they're confused, and I want to assure you that this state's public safety officials and our local law enforcement partners are doing everything in our power to get answers, to help return a sense of normalcy back to our communities. You have the right to demonstrate peacefully. We recognize that demonstrations are often driven by strong emotions, beliefs, and a desire to be heard. But please, please remain peaceful. I want to say it again because it is important and it is critical. Peacefully demonstrate. By doing so, you help local authorities to get answers. You help us to do our investigations.
All right, y'all. So we'll stop that live right there at that video. If y'all want to check it out, I'll put the link to that in my description box and y'all can watch it from beginning to end. We're going to take a quick song break. And then after this song break, we're going to get into the next video that actually ties in to the video I was just showing y'all. But how I know people operate and what they like, you know, they like to see controversy and chaos and, you know, war, basically, if that's all I can say. You know, because honestly, I feel that way. Like I'm losing faith. I'm losing my faith when it comes to humanity. I don't want to lose it, but I'm losing it because I sit around and I watch people, you know, and I know we all can have our slip ups. We can have our oops, you know, I shouldn't have done that. You know, I've been in the wrong place, in the wrong space, doing the wrong thing, but I got to turn my life around. There's that. There's respect for that. I've been in that position as well. What I don't have respect for is people who continuously stay in that position. And it makes me wonder, like, is this the world? Like, this is the world that we live in. We live in a world where people like to stay in continuous chaos. We live in a world where people like to stay in continuous fighting. We live in a world where people like to stay in continuous controversy. Like, what is the hope? There's no hope in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to figure out, honestly, like, is there a place and a space where we upgrade and we become better and we decide that, you know, a lot of this foolishness, this childishness, this low vibrationalness, it doesn't serve us in any type of way. I guess it's kind of hard for people to realize that when they get paid to do it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you get paid to be low vibrational, if you get paid to do low vibrational things and that check clears or that Cash App submits, then you'll just continue to keep doing it and think that that's the best way of life. That's the way that you want to go in your life. These are the things that you want to do because it's what benefits you, the money. It's always about the money. I'm going to show y'all just what about the money looks like in just a minute. But let's take this quick song break and we'll be right back.
Wake up, sleeper cells. Let's get it. You want the tea, you want the beef, you want the who said what. But when the blood is in the street, you keep your big mouth shut. You run the numbers up for clicks on every toxic lil, but skip the stream about the kids who barely can survive. You're addicted to the circus dancing for $1 bill while experimenting on us, popping every kind of pill. Algorithm got you trapped, a digital lobotomy. You'd rather watch a dummy tech than learn about autonomy. Low vibrations, yeah, that's all you crave. Mind of a zombie, walking to the grave. Talk about the spirit, talk about the fight. You vanish like a ghost, you're disappearing in the night. Dumbass zombies, sleepers in the cell. Run your own prison in this digital hell. Low vibration. We moving on. Hypertext is boring, spiritual rarity is deep. That's exactly what they wanted, just to Are you a fan of your own destruction? Is the gossip worth your soul? Unplug the wire. Debate the self. Mama Warrior told you. Now bring it back. Low vibrations. Yeah, that's all you crave. Mind of a zombie. Walking to the grave. Talk about the spirit. Talk about the fight. You vanish like a ghost. You're disappearing in the night. Dumbass zombie. Sleepers in the cell. Feel your own prison in this digital hell. Let's go. Vibrations. Yeah. Numbers drop when the truth gets loud. But I'd rather have a few than a brainless crowd. It's revealed to the world, high frequency only. Mama, warrior, golden queen.
What you hear at the end of that appear to be gunshots. Senator Tina Smith has just posted another catastrophic shooting in Minneapolis by federal agents. We're gathering more information, but ICE must leave now so Minneapolis Police Department can secure the scene and do their job. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty has posted, we're aware of reports of a federal agent having shot an individual in Minneapolis this morning. We are working with the BCA to coordinate a state response. Senator Amy Klobuchar has tweeted, there's been another shooting involving federal agents in Minneapolis. I'm working to get more information. I will update as soon as possible. To the Trump administration and the Republicans in Congress who have stood silent, get ICE out of our state now. I'm going to just grab the tweet from Tim Walz as well, who has said that he has spoken with the president and that ICE needs to get out of the state now. Alex Tabbitt was pointing out that typically after a shooting like this, they want to get law enforcement in. Okay, so let's just listen in. Something's going on here.
You broke the line. You broke the line. You broke the line. Come on, yes, fucking go. Let's go. Back up. Hey!
You're seeing somebody being dragged away there. The shots you were hearing, you saw shots and then you immediately saw this tear gas. That is tear gas. That's not pepper spray. You're also, the loud sound suggests that it could be a combination of tear gas or flashbang grenades. You are seeing photographers. You're seeing officers tell people to get out of the way. Now you see, look right in front of you. Look at, those are all officers with their weapons raised. We do not know whether that's those are live fire weapons or tear gas, but you are hearing tear gas and flashbangs go off. I want to stay with this scene. You're watching this is going on in Minneapolis right now, about an hour and a bit after a reported shooting, which we just showed you video of. Let's just listen in. Protesters and the ICE officers or ICE or CBP officers, again, it's impossible to tell, and I'm sorry for that, but if ICE and CBP would actually wear uniforms, we would be able to tell you who they are. There are uniformed police in the area. Where they may be Minneapolis State Police, they may be Minneapolis Police Department or Minnesota State Police. But at this point, there seems to be some ongoing confrontation between ICE officers and protesters. This is tear gas you're looking at. We did see the officers. Look at this. This guy has his gun out of his holster. We did see ICE officers or CBP officers with pepper spray in their hands. This is not pepper spray. We have heard explosions. Those are most likely tear gas or flashbang grenades. Flashbang grenades are very, very loud, very bright images that are meant to sort of blind you and sort of take your hearing away for a few moments. They can be very, very dangerous. They can damage your hearing and sight permanently. But when you heard the shooting, you immediately saw smoke, which suggests that's tear gas. You heard people coughing, which again suggests that it's tear gas. This confrontation is clearly not under control. It's not over. Again, these do not appear to be Minneapolis police or Minnesota State Police. These appear to be federal officers. Most of them are masked. Some of them have gas masks. Some of them have long guns on them. One we just saw moments ago pull out his handgun and then holster it again. And we are seeing these interactions go on. Alex Tabbitt is on the other side of this. The way they've done this is they've split the. So if you're on one side of it, you're some distance from the other side of it, and it does look like ICE is having trouble getting control of the scene, which is not atypical because this isn't actually what they're trained to do under any circumstances. Remember, this is immigration and customs enforcement. This is not their work, and they seem to be having great difficulty getting this under control. They have protesters who are out there screaming for them to get out of Minneapolis. By the way, that is a view that is shared by Minneapolis police, by Minnesota state officials, by Tim Walz, who has said, I've just spoken with the White House after another horrific shooting by federal agents this morning. Minnesota has had it. This is sickening. The president must end this operation, pull the thousands of violent, untrained officers out of Minnesota. Now, I've read you posts from Senator Amy Klobuchar, from Senator Tina Smith, from the Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty. This is a developing situation. We're going to stay on this now for a little while.
It's like Call of Duty. So cool, huh?
Did you shoot? Take the shot. If they kick it, you take the shot. Hold up.
It just blows that way. Fucking idiots. Look at that. It's doing nothing.
You gotta go. I'm trying to help you out. Go.
Oh, good throw, loser.
You're gonna have to your location, 15 miles south, 1-5. How copy? Yes, copy.
Okay, I've got new news now. The police chief, the Minnesota police chief, has told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune that the person who was shot has died. Another officer-involved shooting, federal agent shooting in Minneapolis, in which someone has died. We do not know what led to that shooting. We did show you video, which I will show you again in a few moments. It's just we have a pretty dynamic situation here, so I want to just stay on it. You've got federal officers and protesters facing off.
All right. So I'm going to take down that video and we'll move right along. It's very triggering. That's why I said viewer discretion is advised. But from what we have known as of today, the updates and the details, that person that was unalived and all of that ruckus was actually a citizen of the United States. Not an immigrant, not a criminal, not anyone that they claim they feel as though doesn't belong in this country for the reasons that they have said these individuals can't be in this country. And so my question is, if that is just a regular citizen of the United States, despite the fact of what race or color of their skin they may be, and they can be hunted and unalived in that way, I think for all of us, we should be in a place, especially if you're living in the United States, and because this is what's going on in our country right now, you should be in a place where you realize that these things aren't right and you want to speak up and talk about them, put it on the forefront for people to see and know this is what's happening, this is what's going on. You also, in the back of your mind, would probably want to keep it, very cute. I guess when you're doing certain things, going certain places, it's almost like you have to walk on eggshells. And I think you also have to realize that at any given day or any given circumstance, depending on what you look like and who someone may assume you are and what you've done and what you haven't done and what paperwork you have and what you don't have, you could end up in one of these predicaments as well. And so why I don't see enough people in this country, in these cities, in these states, caring or talking about it enough. It really takes me for a throw. It really does, because at any given time, whatever these people say and what they think and how they're going to move and operate, that is the fatality of your life, possibly, right? That day that you have with these individuals based off of when they look at you, what they see, what they think about you, what they put in their mind, and what they desire to do to you because of those said things that they see and they think, that could end up being your fatality in your life. Why don't we as people care about that? That any given person, and remember, I showed y'all, I do the content to show y'all these things. I showed y'all a lot of these ICE agents, not all of them, let's be clear, because I'll be respectful for someone who's doing a respectable job. But a lot of these ones out here, these vigilantes, this is what I would call mercenaries, this is what I would call them, that's out here, they don't even have proper identification. They don't work for ICE. They just decided to get up out their bed one day and put on fatigues and find an outfit that somebody had that they couldn't fit no more and put it on because it fit them and go out to the streets and wreak havoc over people that they have hate for. You understand? Do y'all understand what is really going on or not? I'm tired. I ain't gonna stop, but I'm tired. I don't understand why people not getting it. You're not seeing what's going on here. You're not paying attention. I try really for real. Like, I'll show y'all what's going on in the political space. Then I'll show y'all some history. And I'll show y'all how it ties in. I'll show y'all how people really think and feel and operate. I'll show y'all all of this over here on my channel. Well, I used to show more of it on other channels, but you know, we have to start over and do what we do. But do y'all not see this playing out in a real way that's playing out? I know some people want to agree with me. That's fine. We don't have to agree. We can have different talking points and different thoughts and things of that nature. But I'm telling you, like, for real, this is how I think. This is how I think, and this is what I see when I see this stuff playing out. This ain't even the worst of it. This is not even the worst of it. But over here in the black tea sector, child, we don't know. I know, but we don't know. Nobody knows or cares. They're not paying attention to none of that. They're not talking about none of that. Why? Too busy talking about child's play, Chucky dolls. That's what they're talking about. This is serious matters. And these matters at one point in time, we can't be sure may end up on our doorstep. And I think people need to get prepared. I think they need to learn how they're going to prepare for it. And I think they should have some type of empathy for other people that are going through it. I think they should have at least one piece of your day, right? Your busy day and whatever it is that you're doing and whatever content it is that you're making, to bring some of this stuff to the forefront and pay attention to it and put it out there for people to see, especially if you got bigger platforms, channels, things of that nature. I think that's important for you to put out there for people to see, because it's serious. It's just, you know, for a lot of people, it's not serious until it comes to your doorstep, until it happens to you. Other than that, you ain't got nothing to say about it or no way to feel about it, right? It don't matter to you. Child, I am losing faith in humanity. Anyway, let's finish this video.
Federal officers, you can see various images of them. Some of them have long guns. Many of those long guns that you saw being shot are canister weapons. In other words, they've got tear gas in them or flashbangs. You can see pepper spray. Okay, now police are moving toward the crowd.
Get back. Get back. Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna be patient. All right, get back. All right, hey, get back. Move. Get in position, okay? Okay.
That's the weapon I'm describing. That's a canister of some sort. Typically, it's tear gas. You can see there's a lot of tear gas in the environment right now. The federal officers have now all put on masks. A little while ago, just a few of them had masks on. Now they're all masked. Watch this one here, preparing to fire a canister. You can fire one canister out of those weapons at a time, then you have to reload. So you'll notice that when they shoot them, they immediately reload. It's a windy day, so the gas is blowing back on the officers, but they are all masked. So they're unaffected by it. There is a tape.
They say it's a windy day, so the gas is blowing back on the officers, but they're all masked. Y'all, I'm telling you. Okay, you got your mask on. That's going to help you a little bit. But what I know is karma and how God move and operate. Y'all, that's all I got to say about that. You throwing the gas bombs or whatever, shooting the gas bullets or whatever the hell you got, and they coming back on you. And yeah, you may have the mask so you don't get or breathe in the chemicals or be affected, right, by the gases. But it's all coming back on you. That's all I got to say. That is all I got to say.
And generally speaking, in a crowd control or law enforcement situation, the tape is the barrier beyond which you're not supposed to go. But now we've seen the federal officers crossing the tape and pushing people further than that, which is generally speaking not an infringement on the law if you're not interfering.
I'm sorry, y'all, but wait a minute, because if y'all watching the video that I'm watching, they're shooting off the gas, bullets, and bombs and all these things, right? Are supposed to harm others and, I don't know, affect them in some type of way. So they do that. The air, is doing what it does, so it's blowing back in their direction. But outside of all of that, you're walking into the smoke bomb. The smoke bomb that you set off because you want more. You want more. Because throwing those, smoke bullets or throwing those smoke bombs, that wasn't enough. Now you got to walk in there and get in there for the kill, right? Excuse my language. So you even walk into the own poisons in the air that you put out there to hurt and harm someone else and have them breathe in and, take into their lungs. You walk into that yourself because there's more that you want to do. There's more force that you have that you want to put in place. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. That's nobody else's speaking points but my own. I don't understand why somebody would do something like that. Because they want to get hands on these people. They want to hem them up. They want to choke them up. They want to put them in a chokehold. They want to kick them up. They want to choke them till they can't breathe no more. They want to unalive them. They hate them. They don't like them. That's why they're out there doing what they're doing. That's why we're seeing so many fatalities the way we're seeing them. These people are hateful people, y'all. I'm telling you for real. That's what I really think. That's what I see. I don't know if y'all watching the thing. I don't know if y'all watch what I, put out on my life. You don't have to watch my stuff. Go watch the news. Watch anybody else. Watch anybody else that's putting out these pieces of information. That's where I get them from. Go watch them. Shit, I don't care. But when you watch it, what do you feel from it? What do you say? I see hateful people that are going after other people because of the hate that they have in their heart and the disdain and the dislike that they have for another individual. And it can be for whatever reason. We can't be sure what it is. One of the safest bets, which they always try to say, we always throw in the forefront, child, to make stuff always complicated and confused. Child, we only tell them what it is. We can put race, number one, on the list. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care if anybody gets upset by that. I really don't. Race is on the number one on the list. This is why these people are doing this. They're racist. They're prejudiced. They're all of the things. They're hateful. And they're going after people. And now they've been given a badge to do it. Are we living in the twilight? Like I heard when I was watching a great live the other day, it gives that we're living in the twilight zone. Are we living in the twilight zone? And if we are, is anybody able to see that they're in it? Or you just tumble through all the waves and the curves and all the things that happens within the twilight zone and not even realize you're in it? I know when I'm in the damn twilight zone. I'm very aware what's going on. Why are we not aware? Why are we not paying attention to it? It's playing out in front of our, like we living in technological times, y'all, where people is able to capture this stuff on their cell phone footage and make a video and post it on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and you watch it with your own two eyes and you don't see it for what it is. Do you want to remain in the twilight zone? Is it comfortable there for you? I don't understand. Meanwhile, people fighting and going to court over AI songs. Anyway, like, I ain't going to be petty or say too much. I'm just like, yo, we got bigger fish to fry here. Y'all not see what's happening right in front of our eyes? If you open up your eyes and watch and listen and pay attention. Oh, goodness God, I can't.
With an enforcement operation. We don't know what happened here. We do have video, and again, I will show it to you. It is terribly graphic, in which you see some sort of a scuffle involving federal officers and someone, and then you hear multiple shots. You can see it. Someone has been shot. That person who has been shot, according to the Minneapolis police chief, has died. So this is the second time now in a few weeks in which someone has been shot involving federal officers. Once again, these federal officers that you see in front of you, you can generally tell they're federal officers because these days the proof is in the negative. They don't have badges to indicate who they are. You saw people holding up their cameras and recording and asking these people, what's your name and badge number, and not getting a response. There you go. That's a tear gas canister that was fired. Most of these officers, this is a tear gas gun.
All right, y'all. So we're going to take a quick song break again, and we're going to get into this next video. And we'll be talking about a few things that happened with one of the ladies that was, they saying, that led the protest at the church, the whole Don Lemon situation. She's a Black woman, and they claim that, you know, she was basically interfering with people's amendments and rights to worship in a church. But anyway, she comes out and she has a speech to make, and she'll be talking about how she was under surveillance. They were watching her because she is a known activist. She is a known person to speak up for the inequalities, you know, of people. And they've been following her and watching her. And so she's going to speak about that on this interview we're going to play in just a moment. But let's go ahead and get into this song real quick, and we'll be right back.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let it ring out loud. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea, like the mighty waters. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. We remember it all. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Hope is alive, yeah. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on. Let's keep marching till victory is won. Stony the road we trod. Bitter the casting ain't right, but we're still here. Hey.
have to put you in handcuffs.
Why?
That's the part, that's the policy. Once they're-
Of course it is. Why are you reporting us? Why?
Just to make sure everything's.
Wait, hold on, sir, I understand, but I'm asking, why is he recording this? I would ask that you not record, if it doesn't have to be. I don't want to be a trophy for MAGA, so I'm asking.
We don't want to be, it's not.
Is it departmental policy to record? If it's not, can you please stop recording? Yes.
I was instructed to record you.
Nekima Levy Armstrong is now out front. And Nekima, I want to ask you about that video and just this whole issue of who's recording and why and what the policy is, because it's really crucial. But, you know, you're here. You just got out of custody a few hours ago. And I know, you know, we spoke just hours before you were arrested yesterday morning. So then all of a sudden you were arrested and it's been 36 hours that you were in custody. What happened in that time?
So what happened was yesterday morning, FBI agents essentially, I guess so let me backtrack a little bit. So they had me as well as some of the other organizers and protesters under surveillance. So they treated us as if we were dangerous criminals, watching our movements. They even went to my co-defendant Chantel Allen's home and watched her and her wife get into their vehicle and drive away the other night. And apparently they were tracking me in my vehicle, which I did not know. And so we stayed in a hotel in downtown Minneapolis because we had heard that they might be arresting people. And we had our lawyer contact the U.S. Marshal's office to see if there was an arrest warrant, not yesterday, but the day before. And they said there was no arrest warrant, you know, on file. And then he also called the U.S. Attorney's office as well. And they did not give him any information. So we wanted to be close to downtown. We also didn't want the FBI to kick in our doors, you know, with our families there. So we stayed at a hotel so that we would be able to turn ourselves in the event that we found out that there was an arrest warrant. However, in the meantime, dozens of FBI agents, again, were surveilling us. They found out the hotel that we were staying in. They surrounded the building, monitored the building. And at one point in the middle of the night, we were in my room and I opened one of my friends opened the hotel door to go take her bag next door. And an FBI agent stormed out of the room across the hall from me and chased her and slammed her to the ground. And he thought that later we realized he thought that she was me. So he got physical with her and attacked her. And when I saw this man run out of the room, I just closed the door and locked it. And then I tried to reach my attorney, like, I think that they're in the room next door surveilling us. It was just so shocking to see the lengths that they went to as if we were dangerous criminals. And we're literally talking about a nonviolent, peaceful protest. And so once we were able to get a hold of our attorneys early in the morning, we talked to them about me being able to turn myself in. And initially David Rosen, who is the head prosecutor on this case, had told my attorney, Jordan Kushner, that I could just self-surrender with him by my side. And then he got a call from a higher up in Washington who said, no, the FBI was going to have to arrest me. And I knew that they just wanted to put on a show because JD Vance was coming into town, because MAGA got worked up over the church protest. And that is why I believe that the FBI agent was trying to record me.
So that's why they're recording. But what you described is a whole lot of people and manpower and hotel room bills and all of these things that they're doing when you were willing to just walk in and turn yourself in.
Absolutely. We followed the steps to see if there was an arrest warrant for me, and there was nothing in their system. And so we were only 8 minutes away from the federal courthouse in downtown Minneapolis, which is where my attorney thought that I would have to turn myself in. So we followed all of the steps, but they treated this as if I was a fugitive on the run, that I had committed murder. And they're doing all this, putting all these resources into tracking down one Black woman, when they will put zero resources into holding Jonathan Ross accountable, the ICE agent who killed Renee Good. Let's not forget that fact. He's still roaming around free. There are federal agents protecting his home as we speak. But instead, they tried to make me a target simply for speaking the truth and calling out the authoritarian behavior of the Trump administration and the brutality of ICE in the Twin Cities of Minnesota.
Nekima, in that video that they were filming of you, right? Because they obviously have said this is something they're now doing, and we've seen them do it. Jonathan Ross himself was filming during when he shot Renee Nicole Good. You say in your video, I don't want to be a trophy for MAGA. We heard that in what we just played that you provided for us. But that video that we're looking at, it confirms what your attorney said. And by the way, what the DHS secretary posted, which is you looking very calm and stoic, okay, during your arrest. She posted an image of you. You looked very serious and calm. But then the White House posted a digitally altered image, and it's looking bereft and crying and very broken up. And so that's the one on the right. I don't know if you can see it, but for viewers, the doctored AI generated fake image posted by the White House is on the right. On the left is the real image, which was posted by the DHS secretary. So Nekima, when did you find out that this, and what did you think when you first saw what the White House posted? Because you knew it to be a lie.
Why I get triggered when someone gives me unsolicited advice. When I was younger, it came.
Absolutely. So my husband was there and he was also recording. So that is the recording that you have, which was taken by my husband. And at the time when I questioned the FBI agent about why he was recording, he had a smirk on his face, right? He knew that this was a sham prosecution to begin with. I could tell, honestly, by the look in his eyes. And I said, you can't, later I said, you can't even look at me with a straight face, about this whole thing. And so when I asked him about recording, he said, oh, it's not going to go on Twitter or anything. I was just asked to record this video. And so I didn't find out until we were in federal custody when my husband told me that it was like last night when they jailed us. Because actually the judge, the magistrate that we appeared before after, being arrested, he actually ordered us to be released yesterday. But the U.S. attorney who is prosecuting this case asked for a stay in the judge's decision so that he could contest it. And it was a bunch of BS as to why they should be able to detain us. And so that 1 hour stay wound up becoming a whole other day in federal custody because there were over 150 protesters who showed up at the federal courthouse peacefully, but they shut the federal courthouse down hours early and then quickly transported us in shackles to the Sherburne County Jail, which is where we were held until, a few hours ago when we were released. They didn't have to do all that. We had ankle chains around us, belly chains. We had handcuffs with the board in between. I mean, honestly, like they were transporting slaves during slavery. And it was
ankle
very
chains
intentional.
And a board chain for the...
And belly chains, ankle chains, belly chain, and handcuffs with the board in between where you couldn't even move your wrists. And they put us in the back of a van. These are the U.S. Marshals, and they did not even put us in seatbelts. So we did not feel safe even being transported from the federal courthouse to the jail. But none of it was necessary. Our lawyers tried to get back into the federal courthouse. They wouldn't even let them in. They closed hours early. So all of this was intentional to further punish us for speaking truth to power and standing up for vulnerable people being abused by ICE.
Nekima, they did just release a court affidavit, and this came a DHS agent testifying in here. So I wanted to read for you what they've just put out. We've just gotten this. It says that your church protest, quote, disrupted the religious service and intimidated, harassed, oppressed, and terrorized the parishioners, including young children, and caused the service to be cut short. It goes on to describe a conversation that they said you had before the protest where they said that you specifically said, Nekima, to others, remember, if you have anything that is activist identifying, do not wear it in if you're just going in to sit down and be a part of the situation. I wanted to give you a chance to respond to this affidavit.
I said what I said. We went into the church service. Anyone who saw the video saw that we were very peaceful. And the description that they gave with regard to churchgoers, that to me sounds like what ICE is actually doing in our community. Terrorizing adults and children, making them fearful, disrupting their lives. That's what ICE is doing. That's not what we did. as we were in there trying to have a dialogue, at least I did with the pastor initially, once I said the name David Easterwood and asked how could he be both the pastor and the director of ICE in Minnesota, the pastor is the one who said, shame, shame, because he didn't want to have that discussion in front of the congregation. I believe he didn't want them to know that they have an ICE pastor as a part of the church. Because of course there's leadership that knows, and there are some of the congregants who did not know. Now, as we were, leading chants, there were protesters talking directly to parishioners and vice versa. There were also people who were worshiping during the service. There were people who were singing. There were people who were sitting in the pews praying. So that is in stark contrast to the affidavit that you just read in terms of what actually took place in that church.
We have something cool here.
Y'all, you know that I did the video the other day, and that video was more so wrapped around, the back and forth between Don Lemon and Nicki Minaj. But within that video, I played a video of Don inside the church. And the church, parishioners or whatnot still being in there, even though, I don't know, whatever, if they say the service was interrupted or not. But one of the funniest things is Don was interviewing a lot of the parishioners, a lot of the people who attended that church. And what he found when he interviewed some of those people that was attending that church is that they didn't know that. They did not know that their pastor was also somebody who was, participating with the ICE. They didn't know that. And they also were very kind and understanding to the fact that people have different thoughts and feelings and beliefs. And they weren't fighting and hooping and hollering. The one who always hoops and hollers and screams and fight the most is typically the person who is guilty. The parishioners were not going off. They weren't sounding off. They weren't upset. They panned it to make it look that way. Or they tried to pan it to make it look that way. And now we are seeing that there are reports coming out that that's absolutely not true. So if it may have been one or two that said something behind the scenes and wasn't willing to say it at the time, that's one thing. If you having dinner, and eating your chicken and stuff like that, that's, unseasoned and all of those things at the dinner table and having these conversations, that's one thing. But when the reporter was there and the cameras was on, the parishioners had nothing bad to say. And you see how they hemmed up this woman who was just basically leading a peaceful protest for what's right. There's people being gunned down in the streets that don't deserve to be gunned down in the streets. And they say that it's all at the hands of the facts that these are people they believe are immigrants. Don't even want to look at their passports, don't want to look at their driver's license, don't want to look at their paperwork to even prove that they're not immigrants. But again, even if they were immigrants, people should not be handled or treated this way. Period. It's abuse. It's abuse and it's nasty work. And so, yeah, you see, we got independent journalists that are getting attacked because they're putting the truth out there. You got certain major news stations that are getting attacked because they're putting the truth out there. You got content creators on YouTube that are getting attacked because they're putting the truth out there. This just don't seem like a world and a society that wants to know the truth. They want to live in the lie because the lie is the hustle. And the hustle is the money. And the money is what they want. And so, y'all, that's all I got on this live. I don't have anything more. I was going to play a little bit of the conversation with I've Had It podcast, but I think that I'm going to do that on my next live tomorrow. I'm going to end this one real short right here, y'all. We'll just keep it wrapped around these things right here. But yeah, y'all will catch that one in my next live, okay? JD Vance, yeah, he's facing some backlash I don't know if y'all seen child. Okay, hold on. Let's I don't like to cheat nobody from nothing. Did y'all see JD Vance get up on the stage, child, and try and lie him and Trump out of what we bear witness with our own two eyes? Did y'all see that? Did y'all not see Vice President JD when he delivered remarks about the Minneapolis and Minnesota situation? Did y'all see it? Maybe y'all didn't see it. If y'all didn't see it, I'll show y'all a little bit of it. Let's just go ahead and have a little fun. Come on. I got a little bit of time. I'll show it to y'all. All right, let's go ahead and get this one up on the screen real quick, so y'all can see exactly, once we get into tomorrow, the I've Had It podcast and their commentary, y'all will understand exactly what it is that they're talking about, because y'all already got the context. Context is everything. So let's go ahead and listen to a little bit of JD Vance's speech, him denying everything. Child, this man was dodging truths like he was playing a game of dodgeball. I said, child, you must have been like an expert or one of the main MVPs in school when it came to dodgeball. Everybody wanted you on their team because he was just dodging things left and right. I couldn't believe the things that he was saying. I just couldn't understand it. I said, how are you making up some type of excuse for that? But I want y'all, because we intellects over here, I want y'all to be very careful. Because I'll tell you something that I noticed. That man, I'm going to say this, and y'all bear with me now. He is a great speaker. Let's just say that. He speaks very well. Okay, let's be very clear about that. We know that. Or maybe you don't, but I'm telling you. So do not be fooled because he speaks so well. Listen to what he's saying, and also remember to tie in the things that you know and you have seen and bear witness to over like this past year? Let's say year. But a lot of stuff when we talk about Minnesota and Minneapolis, okay, we can say the past month or whatever, month and a half, whatever. Do not forget what your eyes saw and your ears heard. Don't forget none of that stuff. Don't forget the integrity that you have as a person. Don't forget what you stand for, what you know is right and wrong, right? Don't forget none of that. I have to give y'all that, introduction when it comes to this before playing this speech. And I say that because I listened to the man. I watched and I listened to the whole speech. He's a good talker now. He's a really good talker. He may even convince people otherwise. That's why they send him out. This is why they send him out. Because they know that about him. Anything else he got going on in his life and all that stuff, I don't care about that. But when he comes to the stages, sometimes he don't know what the heck he's talking about, but he talks about it well, even if he doesn't know. He's a good speaker. We know that he took public speaking when he was in school. So y'all listen to this right here. This is him defending all of the things that's happening in Minnesota and Minneapolis. This is VP JD Vance. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'll let y'all listen to some of it.
Good afternoon, everybody. How we doing? Good. So I want to thank the law enforcement officers behind me for being here. I'll answer a few questions, but I want to say just a few things at the outset, just about what I've learned today and what I'm trying to do here. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the Annunciation school shooting families, because the last time I was in Minneapolis, it was, of course, to meet with some of those families. I understand that a couple of the students have made near miraculous recoveries, and just that was a very special moment for me to be invited into that community at a time of grief. And I hope that all of them know that though I didn't get to see them this particular time, I've been thinking about them and their families quite a bit. Now, to talk about what I am here to do, which is federal law enforcement to enforce our immigration laws, I want to say just a few things. First of all, I wanted to meet with business leaders, with ICE officers, with local law enforcement to try to understand a little bit better what's going on so that we can tone down the temperature a little bit, reduce the chaos, but still allow us as a federal government to enforce the American people's immigration laws. That is the purpose of my visit. Now, this is step one or step two of that process. There's going to be a lot of work that follows through from here. I'm happy to talk about that, but I think I learned a few things that were very important. So number one of the things I learned is that the guys behind me are doing an incredible job. And frankly, a lot of the media is lying about the job that they do every single day. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't occasionally stories out there, there aren't occasionally videos out there that suggest that these guys, or at least some of the people who work for them, are not doing everything right. But very often, if you look at the context of what's going on, you understand that these people are under an incredible amount of duress, an incredible amount of chaos. And because of a few very far left agitators, a lot of these guys are unable to do their jobs without being harassed, without being doxxed, and sometimes without being assaulted. That's totally unacceptable. And that's one of the things that I want to send a message to is, yes, come out and protest me, protest our immigration policy, but do it peacefully. If you assault a law enforcement officer, the Trump administration and the Department of Justice is going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. And I wanted to show some support for these guys who, frankly, are operating in a very, very tough environment. I heard a lot of stories today about that I think drives home just how chaotic the environment on the ground here has already gotten. For example, did you know that within the last, I think, week or so, maybe even more recently than that, you had a couple of ICE officers who were off duty, who had been doxxed online, who were sitting and having a meal at a restaurant in Minneapolis when a bunch of agitators showed up, locked the door, made them feel like they were in danger for their lives. And then, of course, it was federal law enforcement officers who had to come up, lower the temperature on the situation, and actually get those two off-duty officers to a point of safety. Now, imagine, if you would, your life and your perspective on law enforcement if you can't even go to a restaurant without some agitators locking the door and making you feel like your life is in danger. That is the environment.
Right. So citizens of the country can't even go to a restaurant and have a meal without feeling their life is in danger at the hands of ICE agents. Is that not the same thing that's happening to citizens of this country that don't deserve to be apprehended or abused or pushed down to the ground, arrested, and put in some type of precinct somewhere, all to find out when their paperwork checks out that they are actually citizens of this country? Oh, you're talking about those type of comfortabilities that are being taken from people? Because I don't care if those type of comfortabilities are being taken from ICE agents. Those type of comfortabilities are being taken from United States citizens. Is that the ones we're talking about, JD Vance? That makes it so uncomfortable because you can't go to a restaurant, sit down and have a meal without somebody doing what? So y'all just basically, y'all getting a taste of your own medicine and you don't like what it tastes like? Is that what we're asking? Is that where you're going to stand up on the podium and argue about? Because isn't that not what's happening to people at the gas station, trying to get a cup of coffee on their way to work, at their job, at the restaurants? And you know what I like? I like that restaurants is not serving these people. I like that they're turning them away. I wouldn't serve you either. You don't get to eat here, treating people the way you treat people, especially if they're my people. No, you're not eating in my restaurant. You find somewhere else to eat, period. Bye-bye. McDonald's is open. Go on over there and get your cheeseburger and some french fries. You ain't going to be having no catfish and no oxtails today. Trust me. That's exactly how I would be, because this is how we have to do these people. You don't get to treat people like that and think people supposed to serve you, be kind to you, bow down to you, and you mistreating these people, abusing these people, and unaliving these people out in the streets, and we have to sit here and watch it on the TV and bear witness to it and think that it's okay, and you just stroll up in there the next day and ask for a damn plate of food. Oh, I can't stand these people. I'm telling you, I can't stand them because they make no damn sense. They make no sense whatsoever. It's all about them. It's not about us. It's not about us, the people. Mm-hmm. It is not about us, the people. Y'all give up on that dream. Give up on believing that this country runs and operates that way, because we no longer live in a country that runs and operate that way. That dream is dead. It's gone. For right now, I can't say forever, but at least for right now, these people have taken over, and what they say and what they do and how they move and operate, what they think and what they want to put into place, it's not what y'all thought it was. It's not what y'all thought it was. No, it's not how it was. And it's not what y'all thought it was. It's totally different. Y'all got to learn how these people move and operate. I see it. I see it for what it is. Y'all don't fool me not one bit. Let's listen to the rest of this crap out of this man's mouth. And like I said, he speaks very eloquently. But listen to what he's saying.
That has been created, I think, by a lot of very, frankly, far left people, but also by some of the state and local law enforcement officials who could do a much better job in cooperating and working. And by the way, I'm not talking about the cops, who these guys told me on the ground, the cops are very sympathetic to what they're dealing with. I'm talking about the state and local elected law enforcement officials who could do a lot better job in making their lives a little bit easier. And in the process, they would make the lives of all Minneapolis residents easier, and that's what we want. We want to be able to enforce the immigration laws on the one hand, while on the other hand, we want to make sure that people in Minneapolis are able to go about their day. And I want to say just one last point on this. So I heard from a business leader today who told me a very tough story, and I think so much of what's gone wrong in Minneapolis is people not trying to understand the perspective of somebody else. Try to understand what somebody else is experiencing, whether they're a law enforcement officer or anybody in the community here in Minneapolis. So they told me a story about this manufacturing facility where an illegal immigrant was being arrested. And as these employees are going into the manufacturing facility.
Sorry, y'all. Did y'all hear what he said? He told me this state and local law enforcement. But he said it's not the cops, though. It's not the cops. Oh my. It's not the cops. We're not talking about the cops. We're talking about the state and the local law enforcement. Anybody out there? This is so difficult. Okay. All right. We'll just leave it where it is. Y'all just stay out there and don't answer the question if you don't want to answer the question. I don't know how to put up polls, but if I could put up a poll, I'll put up a poll. He says state and local law enforcement, but he said it's not the cops, though. Did y'all hear that? All right. This is our VP. Okay, let's keep going. I'm about to be done with this. I'm not playing all of this video. Let's go.
All of a sudden, an illegal immigrant shows up. They don't know it's an illegal immigrant. And then a bunch of ICE officers descend. Now, these people just want to go to work. They want to go to work safely. And now all of a sudden, there's a major law enforcement operation happening right outside their place of business. Now, from one perspective, I certainly understand why a business leader or why an employee would say, whoa, what's going on? It's a little scary, no matter your position in life, if a bunch of cop cars show up and they're arresting somebody. Now, the additional context is that we know that people online have been encouraging illegal immigrants that one way they can evade arrest is by showing up at a legitimate place of business, making it impossible for these guys to actually enforce our immigration laws. So while I can understand the perspective of somebody who doesn't want to see an arrest happen at their place of work, I can also understand the perspective of our immigration enforcement officers who have to do their job and can't allow a heckler's veto over our immigration enforcement. And so much of what's gone wrong is the failure to do that. And here's the point. We can do a good job of enforcing our immigration laws without the chaos, but it actually requires the cooperation of state and local officials. If you look at blue cities and blue states, red cities and red states, you go to Austin, Texas, or Memphis, Tennessee, you go to the state of Texas, obviously a very red state, or the state of Tennessee, a very red state, but you've got blue cities within those states, you do not have this level of chaos. The reason why things have gotten so out of hand is because of failure of cooperation between the state and local authorities and what these guys are trying to do. We have a ton of resources, a ton of ICE agents in this city right now that I would rather us not have. I'd love to send those guys home. They're not even doing targeted immigration enforcement. They are trying to protect ICE officers who are doing immigration enforcement, because when a crowd surrounds them and these guys call 911, the local officials, the local cops have been told to stand down. So we have people here who aren't even doing immigration enforcement, they're doing force protection. So that if a rioter tries to ruin the life or assault an ICE officer, they're actually protected. Now, why doesn't it make more sense for the local cops to get involved in that situation? Why not just have the mayor or the local officials tell the police officers, you know what, if an ICE officer is being assaulted by a far left agitator, you are invited, you should actually help them. That's what would work out in any normal situation, and that's what happens in nearly every jurisdiction, red or blue, in the United States of America. The reason it hasn't happened here is because the local authorities have been told, stand down, do not help ICE, promote the violence, promote the agitation, but don't do anything to lower the temperature and lower the chaos. That's a problem. Here's another example of how the lack of cooperation between state and local officials makes it harder for us to do our job and turns up the temperature. Let's say, for example, we have a criminal migrant who is a sex offender. And let's say that we've got to go and arrest that person who, Democrat or Republican, wants a sex offender living in their community. I would assume, I would hope that most people don't. But because they're an illegal alien, we don't know their last address. We may have known their address 3 years ago, but we don't know their address now. What we'd like to do is talk to local officials and say, you know what, according to the Medicaid rolls, where was the last address this person was domiciled? Or according to a SNAP application, a food stamps application, maybe that could give us insight to where this person is today. Or maybe they had some local court trouble. We could go to the local courthouse or even the local jail and try to find where this criminal sex.
Well, I just wanted to add this little tidbit in. If you cut the SNAP and people from getting affordable insurance, such as Medicaid, Medicare, you know, all the things, then I don't think you're going to be able to find where they live at, because all the things that you're trying to trace them by is what you're taking from them. But anyway, let's keep going.
Offender is today. The local authorities have been told, do not cooperate. So these guys are trying to go out and enforce the law. They're trying to arrest sex offenders, but they're trying to do it in an environment where local officials have been told, do not help them, do not provide intelligence about where these sex offenders might be. This is disgraceful. And there are a lot of things that all of us could do better to lower the temperature, but the number one thing that I learned today is that the best way to facilitate.
And I'm sorry, I just need these people to explain to me. Okay, like I said, when I told y'all at the very beginning, he's a good talker now. He'll get you. You know what I mean? He probably done got a lot of women and stuff with his talking skills. But listen to what is being said, but look at what is being done. If individuals are being hemmed up that are United States citizens, they're not immigrants, they're not criminals, they're not SOs or SAs, and they're getting hemmed up and abused and unalived. Can you please sit up here and explain to us why that is happening? Can you please sit up here and explain to, oh, oopsie, oh, oops, we thought, what did you think? Because you think all Spanish people look the same? You think all black people look the same? Y'all been saying that. Y'all still believe that, don't you? Why is citizens being unalived and hemmed up and abused and harassed? I hear what you're talking, sir. I hear what you're talking about. And even when it comes to that, you still should do it in a humane way. If these people are criminals or, you know, so immigrants or something, whatever, that don't have their paperwork in order, child. I don't believe in those things, but if that's what y'all believe in and that's how y'all want to move, do it like that. Be humane about it. Y'all not being humane at all. We sit here and we watch this stuff on our TVs. We watch it on our cell phones. We watch it on our computers. We are watching what is happening to human beings. And I don't care what you try to tell us is the excuse as to why they're being treated and unalived. No, there is no excuse. There's nothing you can tell me that I really give a damn about, or I feel as though it's justifiable to seeing these people gunned down in the streets, hemmed up, choked up, till they can't breathe and they're no longer with us. There's nothing you can tell me that justifies that. I don't care. I don't know how anybody else feels and what they think, how they move, how they operate. There's nothing that justifies that. Period. Point blank and period. Exclamation point. You can take the period off of it, put the exclamation point at the end. And you want to sit here and they start trying to take out child. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing innocent citizens. People ain't done nothing wrong. Don't even got a ticket, a traffic ticket. Lives being taken on the streets. We seeing it in real time on the internet, on videos. Because of cell phones and technology, yes, we get to bear witness to that. We see what it is. Don't sit up there and gaslight us like this. We're not that dumb. But that's what they think. Let's keep going. And then after this, we're going to be done. Because I can't play this whole video. It's too long.
Reasonable enforcement of the law, but also to lower the chaos in Minneapolis would be for state and local officials to cooperate. Now, I will say, on one final positive note, I actually think that there's some hope, some reason to think that there's going to be better cooperation in the weeks and months to come. I think that because I've talked to some of the local officials here, I think there are reasons to believe that these people are going to step up and actually ask the cops to protect our ICE officers when they're being assaulted, who are going to ask the local courts to cooperate with getting criminal sex offenders out of our community. That's a good thing. That's the good news, and that's something I'm going to work on when I get back to Washington. But please, if you're a local official, if you're the mayor of this town, if you have any influence over those people smoothly and without chaos that we see Austin, Texas, Memphis, Tennessee, or even rural the state of Minnesota, all we need is a little cooperation. I guarantee you, we're going to do the best to be professional, to respect people's rights, to not do anything that we don't have to do in order to enforce immigration laws, but it would make our lives a lot easier. It would make our officers a lot safer, and it would make Minneapolis much less chaotic if we had a little bit of cooperation from the state and local officials. With that, I'll shut up and take some questions. Thank you, guys.
Vice President Vance, a local school district here is alleging.
So, if the ICE officers and the state and local officials all are going against and attacking innocent citizens who live in these cities, in these states, who is going to come to their defense to protect them? Huh? All right. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't make no sense, sir. Somebody got to protect the people. And that's what the police have vowed to do. Not all of them move and operate that way, but a lot of them take that oath seriously to protect and serve the people. And this group, this ICE group now, that y'all sending out here to wreak havoc on everybody, who's supposed to help and defend these people against this group when they're innocent and they don't deserve to go through none of this? So you want the ICE officers, the police, and the military all to be beaten down and pounded down on the citizens of the damn country. Is that what we're asking? Is that what y'all make America great again look like? All of these organizations is against the people? What are we talking about here? Like, the insanity of what these people say, and when you try to make sense of it, you can't, because it makes no sense. What are y'all talking about? Like, are you serious? Like, that's what you want? That's what your Make America Great Again looks like? And soon it won't, they won't be driving around. Are they going to get back on the horses with the white hoods? Is that the means of transportation? Are they going to be back doing that? Or do they get to just drive around in Elon Musk Teslas? Like, which one is it going to be? Huh? Do we get to keep technology or do we take it away? Because if we're taking provisions and rights away that we have gained over the years as we progress to the future, then I feel as though it's fair for us to take technology away too. So y'all want to try to keep us in the dark? All right, that's fine. We got enough independent journalists. They'll get the message to us. We can go back to newspapers like we used to. We can do that. Let's take y'all Teslas away. And y'all motherfuckers get back on them horses and start riding them horses around with the white hoods on your heads and hunting people down in the street. And take all your technical and your tactical weapons away and all of your, bulletproof vests and all the things. You're just only wearing white robes and hoods and you're riding horseback. If you want to take us back, y'all got to go back too. Period. I'm not playing with these people at all. I'm sick of it, Round. I am getting sick of it. I'm sick of witnessing it. I'm sick of watching it. I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sick of it. When does it end? These people are insane. And there's nobody really that also equally believes or see how insane these people are. They don't want to talk about it and they don't care about it. Oh my God, I can't.
ICE agents detaining a 5-year-old after preschool on Tuesday. We've also seen multiple American citizens detained by ICE, harassed by ICE in the last 6 weeks. Are you proud of how your administration is conducting this immigration crackdown here in Minnesota right now?
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we're standing behind law enforcement, and I'm proud of the fact that we're enforcing the country's laws. But, you asked a question about this 5-year-old kid. I actually saw this terrible story while I was coming to Minneapolis. We just left Toledo, Ohio this morning for an economic messaging event. And I see this story, and I'm a father of a 5-year-old, actually, a 5-year-old little boy. And I think to myself, oh my God, this is terrible. How did we arrest a 5-year-old? Well, I do a little bit more follow-up research. And what I find is that the 5-year-old was not arrested, that his dad was an illegal alien. And then when they went to arrest his illegal alien father, the father ran. So the story is that ICE detained a 5-year-old. Well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death? Are they not supposed to arrest an illegal alien in the United States of America? If the argument is that you can't arrest people who have violated our laws because they have children, then every single parent is going to be completely given immunity from ever being the subject of law enforcement. That doesn't make any sense. No one thinks that makes any sense. Now, there are so many of these cases like that where if you just understand the context, there have been a number of situations that I've looked into personally where I say, wait a second, we don't want ICE arresting Americans.
Well, we've come to an unfortunate part of the conversation. So we have ICE. Some of the people, I understand they may not have their paperwork in order. Some of the people are citizens. They don't deserve this treatment at all. They're being separated from their children. Their children are being detained, meaning they're taking their children, they're taking them one place and their children is going another place. As a Black person, do we remember what that looked like and how that typically pan out when the police or whoever run up in a Black person's house and arrest their parents and they have children in the home and the children wind up where? DIFIS, CPS, places like that, right? Yeah. So when we're seeing these things play out and we're having these type of conversations, especially when it comes to Black people, I think we pretty much understand it inside and out, how it all works and how it falls out. And then for him to sit up there and be so noble and prestige about ripping children away from their parents, I don't even have to, and I can't speak on, but if I had someone to speak on, never mind. These people don't want me to talk the way I talk. What about the Holocaust? Yeah, that was parents being separated from their children, right? The children didn't have anywhere to go. A lot of them was wind up on the streets trying to dance or do things to make money so they could eat and have a meal. Children getting ripped away from the parents. Well, unfortunately in other countries, yeah, I know that has been a thing and it has happened and it may be still happening. And maybe in the United States, we haven't experienced that until now. Remember, I understand that. But my question is, why is it so comfortable for y'all to want those type of things to happen? Why is it so comfortable for y'all for that to be okay? I don't think any of that is okay. I don't. And then you want to get up here and try to spin some type of news story and saying that, oh, the way they reported on it, they made it seem so terrible. They made it seem so wrong. But at the core of it, wasn't a parent taken from their child? Wasn't a child left without a parent? And didn't they have to leave with ICE officers that they don't know and they don't trust to go somewhere, Lord knows where they're going to take them to, because their parent can no longer care for them because they're underage? Didn't all of that happen in that encounter? So when people report on certain things, like, come on now, let's not be dumb. You sat here and you regurgitated exactly what went down and what happened. And then you want to sit up here and make us feel like we should feel bad because we're watching news reports that reported it really with the tensions that they needed to report it with. But you kind of want to put some sauce on it, like some ketchup, some Louisiana hot sauce, you know, some Caesar dressing. I don't know. Like, you're trying to coat it to make it seem like it isn't what it was. A child was taken from their parent. I don't care under what circumstance. That's what happened, period. Y'all took that child. Lord knows where you're taking them and what you're going to do to them. They're not with their parent. They're not with anybody they know, love, and can trust. What makes these people think that what makes a child think that they can trust y'all if y'all done hemmed up their parent and dragged them off like a damn deer kill? Why would a child think that they can trust y'all? And you don't care whether they trust you, they like you, they know you or not. You don't care about any of that stuff. You just going to hem them up and take them wherever it is you see fit because you feel as though that's what you get to do. Okie dokie then. Anyway, y'all, I got to get up off of here. It's over 2 hours. If y'all want to watch this video, I will put the link in my description box below. Thank you for tuning in and listening for what you listen to and my commentary, which I'm going to give a lot more of. You know, I've been told to be quiet and, you know, not say much when I do my lives and stuff. But I got to be me and I got to talk and I got to say the things that I think and the things that I feel. And I don't care if I get in trouble for them. It is what it is. Seems like I don't get anywhere anyway. So might as well be real about it. Anyway, y'all, I will talk to y'all on the next one. Let's go ahead and play a bop on the way out. And I will see y'all on the next live. Everybody have a good rest of your night, your evening, your morning, or your afternoon. I hope it's blessed and it's great for you. I'll talk to y'all soon. I'm out. Bye.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let it ring out loud. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea, like the mighty waters. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. We remember it all. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Hope is alive, yeah. Facing the rising sun.
Yeah. You tuned into the right place. Welcome to the rain. Golden Queen. H2.0. Let's get it. You're looking for a diamond, found a treasure in the rough. Tired of all the noise, cause you finally had enough. I'm here to build a movement on a mission for the nation. Dropping gems of knowledge, killing all the hesitation. We fighting for the truth, yeah, we fighting for what's right. Building unity and shining up a brand new light. It's a variety channel, but the vision's crystal clear. Pushing us all forward, conquering the doubt and fear.
Yo, welcome to the Queendom. H2.0 on your screen, where the content's real and smart and funny in between. This is more than just a stream, it's a platform for the change. Time to elevate the game and rearrange. So if you're ready for a vibe that you can feel and trust, joining in the movement is a definite must.
This ain't just another channel talking smack behind the screen. It's a spotlight for the creators, building up of the scene. Spreading radical love, that's the message in the code. Helping everybody carry up a heavy load. From social justice issues to the laughter that we need. Planting seeds of progress, watch them grow from just a seed. This is authentic, this is raw, this is everything you saw. Welcome to the battle that is truly being fought.
Oh, so come with your respect and see the real effect. Cause I protect my own right here on the throne. Don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned.
Yeah. Don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned. Yeah. Don't make me unleash the dragon. You've been warned. Yeah. Yeah. Golden Queen H2.0. The movement starts now. Go ahead. Hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. You don't want to miss a thing. Welcome to the family.